Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle Cards, The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And that's that. Okay. We're going to put those there for a second. I'm going to use the Animal Oracle first. They're face down all of a sudden, but alright. Let's just see. Sometimes they're slippery. I love this deck. I do. The cards are slippery, but I really do enjoy this deck more than I thought I was gonna. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, those are cute pictures, but I wasn't sure it was gonna connect with me the way it is. I really like this deck. I don't know why I went on about that, but there you go. All right, Aries. All right, I don't know why we had to flip these cards last, but going into this, I'm saying this with an Aries moon, by the way. My moon is Aries. You got Parrot, Spirit with Whale. Parrot says, watch your words. Whale says, trust the great mystery. Whale, I feel like a different, when I feel whale, I feel like that's like a really strong push forward. It's usually very family oriented. There's a lot of caring with that. I feel like there's a really strong, deep emotional bond. That's what I feel with whale. In Parrot, I feel like showmanship. Yeah, I feel showmanship. I know it says watch your words, but I'm not really worried about that in this situation. I feel like you say what needs to be said, and there might be a bit of a flair to it. But there's also looking out for people. There's also a deep emotional bond where necessary. You honor those who honor you, and that's how that goes. And I'm getting the Four of Wands, kind of like you're dealing with people you're very strongly bonded to. This seems to be how this is starting off. It could be a work situation. It could be, it's more than likely a family situation for most of you, because it's about really strong bonds is what I'm getting. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be family, but like that's where I get the strongest energy for a lot of you. It's a family bond. Showmanship, having a good time, deep emotions, deep bonds, having a little bit of flair. These are people that you can be yourself. Things come off a little bit, maybe a little bit janky. I don't know. I like that word janky. A little bit sharp sometimes, but there's a humor with it. People who know you, who you have these deep bonds with, they know how to take that. They know when you say something, it's not meant to be biting. It's just funny. It might be a little bit different humor, stuff like that. So that's the energy we're starting off with. Now the same energy, who typically knows how to take you, who should be used to you, the Five of Wands comes in. Five of Wands comes in, the Hanged Man comes in, and the Tower. This is not an argument with you. This is arguments happening around you in this group of people you're very strongly bonded to. There's also missing information. That's what I'm getting with the Hanged Man. Like, some of this doesn't make sense. Why certain people are arguing, and you're not getting answers why things are happening. Blow-ups are happening. People are not willing to talk to each other. People are having problems. There's arguments between people. But the Hanged Man, I feel like that's lack of information. Almost like, some of this doesn't make sense, and there's no way to fix it because there's missing pieces and nobody's telling you what the problem is. Why is this? Why is that? And it's almost like they don't want to drag you into something, so you're not understanding what's really going on here. The people arguing both own a piece of the fault. I feel like the people who are not getting along, they both have ownership on what went wrong. They both did something a little bit off center. You know what I'm saying? Which I also feel is like why you're not getting the information. Like they don't want to blow themselves in. But so they're just not talking about it. I'm getting so the koi fish is here, but it makes me feel like it does give me a Pisces feel. I'm trying to walk away from it, but I am feeling that I don't want to say there's a Pisces person you're dealing with because I don't feel like that's right. You could be, but what I'm more feeling when I'm getting that Pisces energy is kind of like people sitting on emotions, people holding things, harboring things deep down. It's more of the darker side of Pisces. I say that as a Pisces, by the way. Every sign has its good and bad aspects. They're all equal, not for nothing. I know people like to have their favorites, but everybody has their equal things. There's harboring disgruntled. There's harbored problem. There's like grudges or something. That's what I'm going. That word grudges fits. That really fits. There's dormant grudges. What do we mean by dormant grudges? So there's people here in this group of people who have problems with each other. They can go a long time being nice to each other, but when these grudges come to the surface, it's almost like it seems like it's out of the blue. They're mean to each other, but it's basically like a memory pops up and they get upset and then they take it out on that person. But nobody really sees it coming. It's just that it's almost like, 5 years ago, Uncle Sal, gypped me out of $20. And now years later, they're like, oh, I remember, I needed that money too. I had to wait, downtown for 3 hours to get a ride home because I didn't have any money to get home because that person took my $20. So I was stuck, and that was horrible. I had to wait in the bus station, and then I had to wait for somebody to come get me. It was horrible. So they've been harboring this feeling and not telling anybody. And then 5 years later, all of a sudden, this same person just kind of seems to like they have extra money or something, or there's something where there's something trips a memory like that. This person gets all bent out of shape about that situation from 5 years ago, and all of a sudden they're just treating this person badly because they're still not over it. Yeah, they're not talking about it. They're not bringing forward what the problem is. They're just kind of like, about it. That's what I'm getting from this. Which is another thing, like, first of all, what originally happened, one person wasn't right with that. Now what the other person is doing years later, like it's not being talked out, it's just being mean because they're still upset. That's not really helping the situation either. There's no resolution with that. You're like, it's weird because you're looking at this from the outside thinking it'll just blow over. When I get the Two of Cups for you, you care about both of these people. Or there could be more than one. Whoever's arguing, you care about the people that are arguing. You're feeling it's going to blow over because you care about both of them. You're just kind of like letting it be. Like, I guess they'll sort it out. There's like harbored grudges. That's what I'm getting. Things do go back. The situation passes on. It's not gone, though. I know it says the Death card, but I feel like it goes back to dormancy. I'm an intuitive reader. I'm feeling it goes back dormant, and it may be a long time before it shows itself again, but it probably will. Things go back to Pleasantville. Like, it's back to Pleasantville, wherever. Pleasantville, North Carolina. Is that a place? I don't know why that's popping out of my mouth, but there you go. Things go back to being good. You're feeling secure again. No, see, there's bombs. That's what it is. Emotional bombs. Things go back to being secure. You're thinking everything is fine. Everybody's getting along again. Whatever went wrong, people seem to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just having a day, blah, blah, blah. People seem to be smoothing things over. You're thinking things are back to stable. You're thinking things are stable again, right? Everything's fine. Out of the blue, the rabbit spirit, it's like something happens really quick, left field, something happens, the devil card shows up. Somebody else is causing a problem again. Again, I don't think you know what's going on with this. I think it's the same people. So whoever was arguing, either, like, if there was two people arguing, it's either the same one or now the other one. One of the two are now causing a problem. The devil card rears its head. It's probably the other one. Like, retaliation feel here is what I'm getting. Out of the blue, another problem erupts. The devil card is telling me it's worse than the first time. You're trying to understand what the deal is with this. You got Swan and Dragonfly Spirit. Time to dive deep with the Swan. Time for a deep dive, I guess. And the Dragonfly is truth transcends illusion. All right, so I'm just going to go with what I feel with this. Because when I'm reading the words, it doesn't really click with me for this situation. What I am getting with the Swan is like you're trying to keep a dignified air about the situation. You don't want this to get worse. Because you're seeing it and you're just like, all right, this could get a lot worse because that devil energy is really bad. And you're just like, I don't want to add to that. Because there's no... The thing about Aries, it's like, if you have to fight to get your point across, that's one thing. But to fight just to cause needless destruction, I don't really connect with that with Aries. There's usually more thought behind it. Like, if we need to argue it out, the reason we argue it out is for a purpose, to make things better. We don't argue just to argue. And I know Aries has this war mentality, but Aries goes to war for a reason, not just because hey, it's Tuesday, let's fight. That's not the Aries energy that I know. I don't know, people could argue with me on that, I understand, but that's not how I feel it. Because you're holding back, you're trying to calm the situation, but be honest at the same time. You're like, we need to deal with what's actually happening here. We need to calm tempers and just come forward with the truth. If we have to argue it out, so be it. But let's try to keep it as dignified and listen to each other to understand what it is. You're trying to bring in the judgment, like a positive judgment. You're trying to bring forth the truth with the judgment card. And the dragonfly is a very spiritual symbol for me. That's like trying to transform something into a higher level. It's not just transformation, but it's trying to evolve. It's trying to transform and evolve at the same time. It seems like it's taking a lot of work. It's not easy. I don't feel like this is easy. But you're like, no, I don't know what the problem is, but apparently we're having a second bout of this. Let's get to the point. Again, if you have to fight, so be it. But especially in this situation where you care about the situation, fighting just to fight isn't going to work. No, it's not the point. You have the horse spirit coming in with the knight or the King of Cups. Are you getting the truth here? I feel like you're unearthing what the problem is here. You're getting people to really talk it out and say what the problem is. It does seem to be freeing everybody up. It seems to be healing it too. With the King of Cups, it might be one of those things where people smack each other. Let me give a better analogy here. This might be one of those things where a bone healed incorrectly. Say if you broke your leg at a certain age and it didn't heal correctly. The way the situation is being corrected is having the bone rebroken so it can heal correctly. Which sounds horrifying to me, but I don't know. I know it happens once in a while, but I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as I think. I don't know. They do what they have to do to make that happen. Whatever. But to me, that's how traumatizing this is. Like almost like re-breaking the bone so this way it can heal correctly. That's what I feel with the horse spirit and the King of Cups. Like it's what has to be done is being done, and it's rough, but it does allow the situation to truly heal. Once that is done, see, I don't know, something is weird with this because your cards after this make me wonder. People in the environment are getting along a lot better. Things are going a lot better with the people around you. The Ten of Cups pops in here. Like, okay, finally we aired out the grievances. Finally we talked about what we've been harboring for 5 years. We finally spit it out. We finally talked it out. And the other side said what they wanted to say, whatever. Okay, needed to happen. People around you, Ten of Cups, everybody's getting along. You got the Two of Wands on your side. Because now you're looking at people a little differently. And you're starting, for some reason it's making you wonder, like, what other bombs are these, what other emotional bombs is this person holding on to? You have a choice going forward. You're starting to really wonder what's going on. Something makes you a little uncomfortable. You learned something during this situation. When the truth came forward, something you found out you did not like. You're looking at somebody in a different light now. Somebody in this situation, after this is all aired out, you're looking at them in a different light. And what I'm getting from that, where that goes next, is like you seem to be unhappy with somebody after this. Kind of like, I thought better of them. I'm getting that attitude. Kind of like, I thought better of them. And now that I see what they've been doing this whole time, and the nasty things they've been doing and why, it really makes you unhappy. Like, I don't see you, like, angry. I see you upset. Like, disappointed. You really are disappointed in somebody. The Three of Swords is telling me you're very disappointed in somebody. You're holding that back because there's no point to saying that. But when you deal with this person going forward, it's hard for you because you're looking at them in a different way. The Ten of Wands is telling me you deal with them in a way you need to. I don't see problems happening, but I feel like you have to hold your tongue a lot. Kind of like, you just don't, I don't feel like the respect is there like it used to be. And I just feel like you're just like, what you thought of somebody before and what you think of them now is different. And you're just disappointed. I'm really feeling you're disappointed. I don't know what else to say about it. Going forward, you just got to be careful what you say around this person is what I'm getting. I feel like you don't want to tell this person too much anymore. You're just kind of like, the trust has been damaged. Even though they didn't do anything to you, it's how they treated somebody else and what they did. Like they were holding a grudge, and the way they treated somebody behind their back and what they were doing, it makes it hard for you to trust them. You see them in a different light. And I'm getting you're still around this person. They're still in your life. But I feel like it's just one of those things where you truly see somebody for who they are and you just don't like it. But I feel like it's important for you to see this. It's going to change some decisions as you keep going forward, but I feel like it's important that you know the truth. And it just seems to be guiding you as you keep going forward to see this person and how they really are. I just feel like it's difficult. It's because you're disappointed. You're just kind of like, I didn't really want to see them that way, but now that I do, it's good to know. It's good to know even though it's hard to know. That's it. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.